Hi, my name is Shota.
And I'm Amber.
And welcome to the Kotatsu Club Podcast.
Where we talk about all things Japanese language and other stuff too.
Okay, so I have a very interesting question for you.
Okay.
And for you, do foreigners in Japan secretly judge each other's Japanese? Because Japanese people do that outside of Japan, right? So when you live in America, people judge each other's English like a lot. Do you guys do that too?
Yeah, wow, diving right in with this
Yes.
one. I think we do. I think
Okay.
we definitely do. It's clearly you analyze and notice, like when you're with other foreigners, like their level of Japanese. And I definitely get really more shy when I'm around foreigners who are good at Japanese. Like I won't speak Japanese if I'm with a foreigner who's really like better than me at Japanese. Just because I'm insecure about it and I know that they're probably like judging my Japanese.
I think among Japanese people, pronunciation is like the biggest thing, right? So it doesn't matter if you sound dumb or like you're using like wrong words to describe, things, but I think a lot of people care about pronunciation. Is that the same case in Japanese?
I think if your pronunciation is good, you'll just naturally sound better at Japanese.
That's true.
So I probably the same. Yeah, I think the pronunciation is a big sign of like obviously if you see a foreigner who's like watashi wa America jin desu, like they're a beginner.
Oh, okay.
But like if you meet someone who's like have some more native flow.
Okay. Like have you caught yourself judging other people's Japanese? Because not gonna lie, y'all, I have.
Yeah.
I have. So.
Yeah, I think I do, but I don't do it like silently. I'm like, I'll tell them.
What? Like, your Japanese suck.
It's not. I won't tell them like that. But like, if my friends make a mistake, I won't do this with everyone. Just with friends who I know like want to improve their Japanese, and they're like, tell me.
Sure.
Like recently, I was with two of my friends. We were just like traveling for a week. And I noticed like some of them will make like certain mistakes. Like one of my friends, whenever a server comes to take our order, but like we're not ready yet, she'll be like, "Choto mate kudasai," and I'm like, oh, maybe a better way to say it is "mada kimette-masen," "sumimasen, mada kimette-masen." And so, with friends who like are open to learning and like but it's really hard, right? Because language learning is like so connected to like your self-confidence, right?
Yeah.
And it's a very emotional thing when you're studying a language because everyone's like afraid to sound dumb, and so like they're afraid to speak. So you don't want to criticize people too much.
But you only do it verbally, at least. When you are asked to do so.
Yeah, like I'll tell them, I'll be like, I'm so sorry, like I'm obsessed with Japanese language and studying. I might accidentally correct you. Like, are you cool with it? Or like, should I really try not to?
No, but like, I feel like that's different though.
Yeah.
But like, what about like, when you're like in the street or like in a shop or something and like these
just like a stranger.
Yeah, stranger, and like they, like busting out horrible Japanese, and you'd be like, damn. Like,
I don't think we judge them in a bad way, but we definitely like could tell that they're a beginner. Like I wouldn't say like, oh, like they're stupid.
Oh, okay.
But I would judge them as like, oh, they're a beginner. Like I could judge their level based on like what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But I won't think that they're stupid. Maybe they just started studying. Like I don't know where they are in their study journey.
Okay.
But I think the most cringy thing I've ever heard when I was in public of someone like speaking like beginner level Japanese was when I was on a train in Kyoto and there was like a drunk tourist trying to hit on the two Japanese girls who were sitting next to me. And like they're being nice and polite, but like I, as someone who lives here, can tell that they were so uncomfortable and like and that like his Japanese being bad just like added to the layer of cringe.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to say those kind of things because I don't want beginners to be embarrassed of speaking their beginner level Japanese.
Because like you said, confidence is the key.
Like you have to start somewhere and you're going to suck at first and it's going to be uncomfortable and people might judge you, but you should speak anyway, I think. Right?
Yeah, because here's the thing, right? I get it now. Like, I can distinguish what bad pronunciation, good pronunciation now in Japanese.
Yeah.
But then, I think Japanese native speakers, we don't really pay too much attention to how it's said, as long as they make sense. So, I think that's why, you should, start talking to like a native speakers like right off the bat, because, because if I'm talking to a native speaker with English, like, I'm not embarrassed of my English, because like they're clearly better than me. Right. So I don't know. Maybe you guys should talk to me or us. I don't know.
I'll say I do get embarrassed when I'm talking to Japanese people like you who are really good at English. Like, I don't know why, like, my Japanese brain literally won't turn on because of, it's like, logically I know it's fine and like I could speak Japanese, but like emotionally my body just like won't do it. It's like, nope, like, you're gonna embarrass yourself. Don't speak Japanese in front of this person. They're so good at English. And I'd say the same thing happens when I'm around English speakers who are really good at Japanese. I can't speak Japanese in front of them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But then I'm a native speaker of Japanese. Like, I'm not gonna like judge your Japanese.
But like, you're so good at English, and it's almost like cringy, right? Because we could be speaking English and having a smooth conversation, but then like my Japanese might be here and your English is like here. So it's like, why would we use the weaker language, right? It's a little awkward.
But so it's a practical reason.
Yeah. But it also is emotional too. It's like definitely an embarrassment thing. Like, I feel like my Japanese brain literally will not turn on. Like, when I'm around you or when I'm around like, I don't know, someone who's
people
really good at Japanese. I don't know. I think it's just highly tied to your like emotions and confidence, language learning. I don't actually like want to pretend to know exactly how it works internally, and I think it is different for everyone. Because I also have friends who are beginner level and have no problem like speaking Japanese. Like, they'll be like, "Watashi wa kore ga suki desu."
Good for them.
And like, yeah, right. And I'm so jealous because like I never had, like, I wouldn't have done that when I was a beginner, but I probably would have learned faster if I did do that, if I had the confidence.
True.
To do that.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think that happens like cross-culturally as well? Because, like, to be completely honest, I think I would judge other Japanese people's English more than I would to, say, like, a Spanish person. You know what I mean? Or that doesn't have to be Spanish, but like, would you judge fellow American people extra harsh?
I don't know if I judge people harshly, whereas I just like could judge based like what level they're at.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by like? Do you think like Japanese people are like dumb who don't speak good English? Like, what do you mean? Like, how are you judging these people?
I don't know. No. It's like this person's making mistakes, or
yeah, I can catch the
like
mistakes.
Maybe judging is the wrong way to put it. Do you notice? Like, do you go out of your way to notice?
Yeah, I think when like you're obsessed with the language and you're studying it, when you are listening to other people who are also studying it, speaking it, you do like notice like where they're making mistakes. But I also make the same mistakes sometimes when I'm speaking Japanese, and I'll catch my mistake like after I say it, but like it just is what came out of my mouth, like without thinking. I really try to not correct people because it does sound pretentious and like, I know better than you kind of energy, which isn't great.
Unless you're asked.
Unless you're asked. But I tend to like want to correct people so badly. So like, if it is my friend, I will be like, "Can I correct you? Like, will you hate me?
Wow.
Do you mind if I'm just kind of obnoxious about this? I'm just a little obsessed with it."
So pretentious.
And usually they're cool with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, if
you verbalize it without just being like, "Actually," don't be an actually person. Don't do that.
Yeah, because when I first landed in America, like I did like a English camp thing, and for 3 weeks in state of Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it?
Terrible. I was kidding. No, but because at the time I spoke like literally zero English. Like I was like holding on to like my English book, to go to classes. But so there was like a Japanese boy at that time, obviously, and he spoke a little bit of English.
Okay.
Because I think his parents were like super wealthy, and like he was able to like travel. So he spoke a little bit Japanese, and I was like desperately asking him to like correct, or not even correct, but like teach me something. Like, what do I say? Depending on the situation, but I feel like a lot of people don't mind it.
Yeah.
Especially when they know that they're just starting out.
Yeah, my Japanese isn't perfect either. Like, if I'm with someone who's a higher level than me and they like tell me something I didn't know, I appreciate it usually.
Yeah, I think I would be pretty happy.
Yeah, I think it depends on the delivery. When someone's like, you're wrong,
yeah, that's
I feel
true.
like that's like not good way to do it. But if someone's like, oh, by the way, like you could say this, I'm like, it's a little better, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, what do you guys think? Is it annoying?
Mm-hmm. Is it annoying, pretentious when you're with a know-it-all in the language you're studying?
No, I think you got it right. I think it's all about the delivery rather than like delivery. Yeah, because like who doesn't want help. New information that could potentially like make yourself sound like so much better, right?
Yeah.
So while I get ready, can you explain what the new segment is all about?
Yeah, so the news segment is where Shota graciously reads a news article in Japanese, and you guys and me, try to listen and see how much we can understand, and then after we break it down and get the answers.
Try not to stutter so much this time, because last time I stuttered so much. I caught a lot of things out, but this time I tried to read it
make your editing
smoothly.
Easier.
I think it's going to be easier for people to understand. So, ready?
Let's go.
Okay. いきます。
はい。
多くの日本人が恋人を見つけることが難しいと感じています。これを助けるために、東京都は政府が運営する出会い系アプリを立ち上げることになりました。はい。これは結婚や子供を持つカップルを増やして低下している出生率を上げるためです。小池百合子知事はこのアプリが最初の出会いから結婚や出産までサポートすると言っています。
Wow.
アプリは東京に住んでいる、働いている、もしくは学校に通っている18歳以上の人が使えます。信頼を築くために写真付き ID、独身証明、収入、身長、学歴、仕事の種類などを提出する必要があります。Brutal. Damn. また、オンライン面接と性格診断も行われ、その情報をもとに AI が相性のいい人を紹介します。
厳しい。
このアプリの試作版は、去年の冬にリリースされ、完全版は今年の夏にリリースされる予定です。AI の技術を使って日本の人口問題に対処できるのでしょうか。That's it.
外国人も参加できる？
What do you think? Based on what you have heard.
I don't know. I mean, if you live in Tokyo and you're working
or
going to school.
Going to school, yeah.
I guess you can.
Are you over 18?
If you're over 18 and you have like a good ID, you can complete the mensetsu.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's so interesting. So I guess there's a dating app that's being released by the government.
The government, yeah.
Since Japanese people, apparently the first line was that they think it's difficult to date and to find people to date.
No, I'm just kidding.
Shota has no problem, but other Japanese people.
I'm just kidding.
So, yeah, I think it's a really good idea for Japan. Like, I feel like people are very private here. So, like, I've used the dating apps in Japan before, and a lot of, like, the photos are just, like, of food and, like, attractions.
Why do you think that is? Why do Japanese people do that?
It's just part of the culture, like, privacy.
Okay.
I think people are afraid, like, maybe that someone from work will find out that they're using the dating app, and like in the US, it's like accepted, like everyone uses the dating app. So
you think in Japan, using a dating app is like highly stigmatized? That's why people want to like make it somewhat private?
Maybe. We should start with interpreting the article before we go dive into talking about the details.
Yeah.
But okay, so from what I understood, it's difficult. A lot of Japanese people, find it difficult to find people to date.
Find people to date, yeah.
And so the government is creating a dating app that's going to be released this winter.
So the beta version was released
was already
last
released
winter.
in the winter.
And the completed version will be released next summer. So I think this summer.
Yeah, so
I think
like
they're releasing
soon.
it now. Yeah. Hop on the train.
Yeah, so it seems like it's a bit of a strict like thing to do. You need like your official ID. You need to go through an interview process. The requirements were that you have to be like a working person or a student, and you have to be over 18. You have to be not married.
Right.
Which is good.
How do you prove that? Because in the article it says like proof of a married status.
I guess in Japan there's a register, right? So I guess you can like show your register.
Okay.
Right?
I think.
When you get married, I think like you get added to like a certain register or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been married, so but that's what I've heard. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, to build the trust, the app requires photo ID, proof of unmarried status, income.
Oh, and it was like an AI interview, right? AI? No.
Close. So based on these things, paperworks that or documents you submit, AI is gonna figure out like
match you.
Match you.
That's cool. I think it's kind of cool. I wish that they had that on the regular dating apps, that they like matched you with people instead of like having to swipe through 1,000 people. Wouldn't it be better if like they just showed you like some of your maybe they do that, and I don't know. I haven't used them in a hot minute, but from when I used them, they didn't have that function.
Have you seen the sitcom The Good Place?
I've seen it a long time ago. I don't really remember.
Okay, so in the beginning, you know how I forgot the main character's name, but she meets her soulmate.
Okay, I don't remember that, but okay.
Okay, so like they have like this like concept of like soulmate. So like they're supposedly perfect for each other.
Okay.
Right? But then they run into like problems, and like they turned out they don't like each, something like that. Okay, but what if like something like that happens? Like, yeah, am I supposed to be into this person? But you can't like just bring yourself to like this person. Would that be like kind of feasible?
I mean, I think you don't like have to date that person, but I feel like it would be like useful if they showed you matches based on like your common interest and like rather than just random people who you have to swipe through.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's a paid feature that does that. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
But
would you participate
in this?
Yeah.
I think I would. Maybe I will participate just to like see what it's about, because it's just like interesting, and I don't
really
think there's ever been anything like that.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna solve the problem of low birth rate though?
I don't think so. I think the main problem really is how expensive it is to have kids and how little free time people have outside of work. I mean, that might solve a little, like one piece of the puzzle, but definitely not the whole puzzle. Like, because people don't have time right now, right?
That's true.
And now you need 2 working parents. You can't really survive off of a single salary anymore.
Yeah.
So how are you going to raise children?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really like you can do about it in a way, because it's just like a country is like a distant to experience something like this, right? As the economy matures. So I don't think like a little dating app would like save Japan single-handedly.
No.
But it sounds fun.
Yeah, it's maybe one piece of the puzzle, right? Because people don't have time outside of work, so they literally can't meet people besides their coworkers.
Yeah.
So maybe that's like something that is helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still doesn't solve the issue of like, okay, they don't have time, so how are they going to raise children? One, and 2, they don't have money and income resources to raise the child and pay for the college and all that stuff. Yeah,
no, I agree. There are a lot of things that government can do to like stimulate the economy and like help them out
and give just parents benefits. Like I think in Korea they get like money for having children and like they get all of this support, like daycare support and stuff that we just don't have in Japan. There are some things, but like not enough, I think.
So this is in a way what's the word, organized marriage? No, arranged marriage, right?
By the government.
But I think I've read somewhere that arranged marriage
Are better?
Are better, like statistically.
Interesting.
Yeah, they have like lower failure rate.
Ah.
So maybe this is the answer. Maybe the governor Koike is onto something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how it pans out.
Yeah.
Are you going to sign up?
When is it rolling out? This summer. Yeah, no, maybe I might to see what's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just experiment, see what matches we get.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to sign up for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today I took the question from my YouTube comments that I didn't answer by accident. YouTube is not good at notifications. I will answer them though. But the question that I was asked was, can you save money as an English teacher in Japan? And I think you've never been an English teacher. I have been an English teacher. I think this is a really good question because I had the same question before I moved here.
Sure.
Because when I was looking at the salaries, I think my first salary as an English teacher in Japan was 2.75 a month.
What's the equivalent in USD?
Let's look it up because I don't remember. Yeah, so that's $1,747 a month, which in a year is...
Is it before the tax deduction or after? Before?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I mean, I'm not making much more now, TBH. Yeah, so...
Wait, so what would that be after?
47 a month, so it's times 12 months. So that's $20,000 USD a year, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's poverty level.
It is.
How much is that per hour? Let's see. That's like $10 an hour USD, which is below the, at least New York, it's below the minimum wage. The minimum wage in New York City is $15 an hour, where I'm from. This is $10 an hour was what I was making teaching English for a private company, and that's one of the best salaries you can get. I think if you're on the JET program, you can get a little more, but not much more. I think JETs get 33, so I was getting 2.75.
But isn't it more competitive to get in?
The JET program, yes, it is more competitive. So, yes, if you look at it in USD, it does look like poverty levels, like you would be on food stamps if you made this much money in the US. But do not worry, because in Japan, it's not poverty. I would say this is actually a standard starting salary, right, per month.
That's actually not that bad.
Yeah,
honestly.
There's worse.
Yeah,
there's worse.
It's not great, but it's
standard.
It's okay. Yeah.
I think it's average for starting salary.
Yeah.
On this salary, living in the countryside, so I was living in Kochi Prefecture, I was able to save a lot because my expenses were so low. The living expenses in Japan compared to the US is so low. Like, I would say a $20,000 USD salary, you'll have the spending power of someone with maybe like a $40,000 or $30,000. Not great. Like, it's like you can't like buy anything you want, but you can buy everything you need. So you can pay your rent, you can pay your bills, and you can live comfortably, but like you just can't like have extra money. But I still, because I lived in the countryside and my expenses were really like so low, I was able to save. I was able, after working for 1 year, I was able to save enough to pay for my Japanese language school for 1 year after that. I don't remember my exact living expenses.
How much did you pay for the rent?
My rent was $5,000 a month, 50,000 Japanese a month. So
does that include utilities?
That didn't include utilities, but the utilities were very low as well. The utilities were like maybe like 3,000 to 5,000 yen. Okay. Yeah, so I was able to save a lot. I didn't buy clothes that year because I knew I was going to save for language school, so I think that saved a lot of money for me. I didn't have a car or any car expenses, gas expenses. True. Really just paid for my groceries, which I would get at like the local market, which were really cheap. Yeah, just whenever I would go traveling and I would do like little weekends here or there. And I was able to save quite a bit. Living in Tokyo now, I would say it's harder. Right. On the same salary, my salary is slightly higher right now, but I have less money because my expenses are so much higher than in Kochi.
And the rent is significantly higher
in
Tokyo?
Yeah, my rent now is 8.5
Right. Why did you say it like that? 8.5.
It was 5 when I was in Kochi. Like, that's a big difference.
That is a big difference,
and my Kochi apartment was probably a little bigger than this. So you can save, but not in Tokyo. But if you live literally anywhere else, like even Kyoto, you will be able to save.
Yeah, even like down in like Osaka, I think if you can pay like 5 to 7, I think you can live in a pretty comfortable, newer, comfortable apartment.
Yeah.
I think it's still gonna be like studio / maybe like a one room
loft.
Yeah, loft apartment. But I mean, more than enough for
one person.
One person. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good question. It is tight, but it's not bad.
It's doable.
Yeah. And you can save a little bit.
Were you able to like go out to like, I don't know, grab a drink with your friends? Did you have friends?
I didn't really have friends.
That's good.
To be honest, most of the things I did on the weekends were free because I liked nature and hiking. So like my friends did that stuff. But I did like go to cafes sometimes. I think I had my meal prep every breakfast and dinner. And then lunch, I would go to the same cafe and get my like 1,000 yen lunch set every day for work.
Yeah.
Then on weekends, we're a little more flexible. It was so nice living in the countryside. I miss Kochi. Yeah, the cost of living in Japan is so low. So like, don't look at the salary in USD and be like, oh my god, I can't do this. Unless you want to go back to the US. Like if you're planning on living in Japan a while, like this is good. But if you want to like return to the US, you might not have like money when you go back because the yen is so weak compared to the dollar right now.
Yeah, the plane ticket's like super expensive. Yeah, compared to when I was doing the back and forth because back in like early 2010s, that was the opposite. Yeah, I think the highest, as far as I know, it was like 70 something yen to a dollar. Crazy.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Hopefully the yen will go back up soon because I can't afford things when I go back home.
Not too hopeful, but yeah.
Eventually it has to go back
up. Crossed.
So we'll see it.
Maybe.
I think.
Yeah. Or maybe you're stuck in Japan.
Yeah. What do you think about salaries in Japan?
It's pretty low. But then I feel like if you're in Tokyo at least, if you're getting 300,000 yen per month, I think you can live. You're not gonna live like a luxurious life, but you'll be able to like go out to get a drink with your friends, and you could get like clothes, and maybe you can like do like a travels and stuff like that too. I think that's the line you want to be.
Yeah, I would say anything less than 3 in Tokyo is really too tight.
Yeah, if you're earning 400,000 a month, you're comfortable, and more than that, which seems pretty low in America. Yeah. But in Japan, so we talked about Tokyo being expensive and everything, but like it's really not compared to like cities like London or New York, San Francisco.
That's true.
Yeah, because like I pay like around like 8 as well
per rent.
Yeah, so. And like I live in like pretty good neighborhood, but like my apartment's like pretty small. But you know, same. I'm a small guy, so it's okay. And you know, I don't really like limit myself from like going out. I don't really like buy fancy clothes. I'm like a t-shirt and
the same thing.
Don't look at me up and down. What do you wait? Same what?
Same shirt every week.
These are different shirts.
Okay.
You know.
Gotcha.
Steve Jobs style.
I see.
Yeah. So, but I don't think it's too uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely hard to grasp when you're living overseas, like how much you like what salary you need.
True.
To, like, because I think in the U.S. it's much different. Like to be comfortable and like live the way that we're living right now in Tokyo, you would need probably like 50 to 60,000 USD.
Sure.
And we're surviving here on like 30,000 USD or less.
Yeah.
And we're comfortable here because the spending power, your dollar just goes so much further, even with inflation in Japan.
Yeah.
Especially like eating out, like you can get a whole set meal
for
like 1,000 yen. Like sometimes I find it cheaper to eat out than meal prep sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
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 So.
Eating out in Japan is like really cheap, and there are a lot of options, right? I mean, if you're trying to like go out in a city like San Francisco, you know, the meal is gonna cost what, like $50, you know, drink is gonna cost another 50. If you were like trying to like Uber home, that's gonna cost what, like another, I don't know, 30, 40, something like that. So like you can easily spend like $100 to $200 a night to go out. That would never happen in Japan, you know. If you have like a good 5,000 yen in your pocket, you're all set, you know.
Yeah, literally.
You can, I think you can get drunk off of that.
You can, yeah.
Not that I would, but yeah.
I don't go out too much, so I don't spend money on alcohol, luckily.
But that's the idea.
Yeah. I would say, I think I need to be better about my spending. I definitely need to be like a little more conscious and like stick to a budget, because like I'm living really tight right now. I don't really have enough money to save the way I did when I lived in Kochi.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you can make above like Sanjuman a month, that would be good.
Which is a little over 1,900.
Yeah, so $1,900 USD a month.
Yeah.
So almost 2,000 a month, or like 24,000 a year, which sounds like poverty level, but you're okay.
It's like it's really
normal salary here in Japan.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you guys have any questions, please send them to us at Kotatsu Club Podcast at gmail.com, and we will answer them here.
All right. See you guys next time.
Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in.